It was only 103 in the shade today. All right, it's going down. Y'all heard what the jukebox say. Y'all bet not. Good evening. It is Wednesday, the middle of the work week. And the SWAC football season has just really starting to kick in. It is week 2. And before we talk a little football, we got to shout out the ladies from the SWAC volleyball. These ladies are putting in hard work out here. And if you go to swag.org, you can see the players of the week. They do this for women's soccer also. I haven't got the players of the week yet, but I just want to give a shout out to these ladies and tell them to keep up the good work. When you think somebody ain't watching, we watching. So with that being said, the players of the week for the SWAC was Brooke Lynn Watts. She's from the defensive player from FAMU. FAMU is also the 2-time defending SWAC champion in volleyball, women's volleyball. Brooke Hudson, defensive player, also from FAMU. And then we got Leah Lawson from Perry View. She's a setter. And Hope Briggs, the newcomer from Jackson State. Give these ladies a round of applause, and make sure y'all are following these ladies when they play volleyball. All right. They schedule they have their schedules posted also. So if you during the week, if you ain't doing much of nothing, hey, check these ladies out. So we can get on down the road, and I can let y'all look at these their schedules for this coming week. And for this week, starting tomorrow, Thursday, Perry View plays Weber State and Corpus Christi. Grambling State plays Little Rock and Ruston, Louisiana. Ooh. Alabama State plays UNC Wilmington. That's in North Carolina. And South Alabama is playing FAMU. That ought to be a good one in Tallahassee. Alcorn is playing University of Mississippi, Ole Miss, and Oxford. That's at 6 p.m. These games are all Thursday at Central Time. And Perry View is playing Texas A&M Corpus Christi. That's in Corpus. So that's for the ladies and they volleyball. Like I said, give these ladies a shot. Check them out. Now, what we are here for tonight. It's week 2 in the SWAC. SWAC football, we can't do nothing but get better than last week. Now, I know there's a few teams that's playing out of conference, but the game of the week is, of course, Southern versus Jackson State. The Boombox Classic, which is the Pete Richardson Classic, because it's Southern's first home game. That's good, though. I like to see that. And speaking of Coach Richardson, he was put into the HBCU Hall of Fame, which is an honor within itself. And if you look at some of Coach Richardson's accomplishments, you would just be surprised that this man put in some work. down there in Southern. Good years. And I was reading some of his stuff and I was like, wow. I said, Coach Richardson, and I said, I do remember the three-peat from 97, 98, 99. But what I did know about Coach Richardson was he was the only SWAC coach to never lose to Coach Eddie Robinson at Grambling. That right there in itself should put you in the College Hall of Fame. Black College Hall of Fame is great, and we need this. Salute to Doug Williams for making that happen. But we definitely need, more coaches like Coach Richardson. If you look at old Coach right here, that man can flat out coach. And I think we need more coaches with tenure like that to be like Coach Richardson, to be like Coach Gordon and other coaches, and Coach Robinson. We need more coaches like that. These coaches didn't run to the Power Five for money or for whatever it may be, or assistant jobs somewhere. And I'm pretty sure they could have took those jobs. Coach Richardson, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Your record speaks for itself. A man with class, and I deeply respect you. I don't care if you was a Jaguar coach or you coached at Winston-Salem or you coached at Perryview. It wouldn't matter to me. What you done for those young men, you coach young men to be not only NFL players, but you coached them to be men off the field of football also. So I got to give you your flowers today. And you having a classic named after you, that speaks volumes of your name, sir. That speaks volume of you. So we need to keep this tradition going. I like to see that. All right. Now, all right, SWAC games coming up this week. Week 2. Like I said, it's a couple out of whatever games or whatever, out of conference games. But there's a couple of games that I got my eye on, and I really need to see something. All right, starting off at 2:30 Central Time in Toledo, Ohio. This game is on ESPN Plus. That's Texas Southern versus Toledo. All right, Mr. Body, don't throw them interceptions in Toledo, please, sir. All right, moving on down at 3, but that'll be 2 Central in Daytona. It'd be Bethune-Cookman taking on Savannah State. As TV is Cat Eye Network. I guess that's Bethune-Cookman's own station. All right. Bethune, don't pull a Valley and let Savannah State come in your home and beat you. All right. Miles will be taking on Alabama State. That's 5 p.m. Central in Montgomery, Alabama. It's not being televised as of yet. 6 p.m. Central in Natchitoches, Texas. Stephen F. Austin welcomes them big bad Braves of Alcorn. All right, Alcorn. You can beat McNeese State last year. You can beat Stephen F. Austin. That game is not being televised. 6 p.m. Central Time, Memphis, Tennessee. The Southern Heritage Classic. Arkansas Pine Bluff takes on Tennessee State. This game will be on HBCU Go Sports. Now, UAPB, do not disappoint me, because I thought that we had something going in that first quarter. Y'all was forcing turnovers. You got a touchdown, and then you fell off a little bit. All right, let's moving along. All right, Florida A&M versus South Florida in Tampa, Florida. They will be playing University of South Florida. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so that's 5 p.m. Central. All right, FAMU. Now you have momentum. You got a game under your belt. You got tape on South Florida. South Florida has tape on you. Your quarterback play is going to be very crucial. You're not going to throw for 150, 80 yards and beat South Florida. So let's get this straight now. Down there in Tallahassee. Now, the game. I don't know. I really don't understand the scaredness that I'm sensing amongst Jackson State fans and the Southern fans. I say again, the scaredness amongst Jackson State fans and Southern fans. I've been on a couple of shows. I've been watching and I've been looking and I've been listening. I don't hear that same thunder and funk and thump and we gonna do this and that and we blah 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 and I don't know. So if somebody's scared, you might want to go to church. That's all I'm saying. The doors of the church house is open. Because I've said this and I'm gonna say this again. The loser out of the Southern Jackson State game, Jackson State can be 1-2 or Southern can be 0-2. 6 p.m. Central in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the Boombox Classic. And for Southern fans, the Pete Richardson Classic. This game is going to be on ESPN+. Prairie View versus Abilene Christian. Prairie View got a home game. It's not being televised. It's going to be 6 p.m. Central. I expect Prairie View to ground and pound again. It's still hot out there. So young men, make sure y'all are hydrating yourself and drinking water and Gatorade and all that other stuff. Alabama A&M, you take it on Lane at 6 p.m. in Huntsville, Central Time. It's going to be on the radio, WJAB. And Grambling, Mr. Miles, you're going to take Grambling down there and go up against LSU, who was barely embarrassed on national TV, a top 5 team. So they're going to be out for a little revenge. You're going to be on the SEC network. Now, Grambling, if your quarterback can go out there and throw for 330 yards against LSU, I know you lying, and Mr. Miles, win, lose, or draw, won't be the SWAC Offensive Player of the Year. So that's the games for this week. Now, let's get knee deep into this this Boombox Classic. Jackson State, the sonic boom of the South. You are going into hostile territory. It ain't no secret. Last time y'all was down there, y'all was planting them flags and y'all was doing all this other stuff. And Southern fans have not forgotten. And I don't blame them. But let's take a look at your quarterback play. Over 2 games, Mr. Brown, Jason Brown. I don't know who's starting. I haven't heard who was starting. So if anybody knows who's starting, let me know. Mr. Brown it's not a bad quarterback. You over 2 games, you have a 72% completion rate, 438 yards. You 36 for 50. Your longest pass has been 67 yards. But, young brother, you got to check down. You got to get out there and blitz. Southern is going to blitz you. I guarantee you. Now, McDaniel, ZY, who came in the second half, not a bad player. He had 180. What was that? 184. That's a rating, 184 rating. I don't pay no attention to that. But he was 10 of 14. 10 of 14. His completion rate is 71%. He has 0 interception. Jackson State is not throwing an interception. One of the few SWAC teams that has not thrown an interception, which is a great thing. But this quarterback play, these numbers look good. But football there's three elements to football: offense, defense, and special teams. You got to win two of the three to become the winner of the game. So if you can win offense and defense and lose special teams, you can win. But you cannot lose on special teams and your offense didn't come to play. You're never going to win the game. So I think Jackson State has the advantage in the quarterback play. You have 2 games under your belt now. You have film on Southern. Southern has film on you. This game is going to go down to the wire, if you ask me. It's not going to be a blowout. I really believe Coach T.C. Taylor is going to fix those mistakes, especially special teams. I guarantee you. And before I get off Jackson State, listen to me. J.S.U. fans, I know y'all travel. Please travel down to Baton Rouge. We need this. Jackson State first 2 games, the one in Atlanta and the one in Miami, the average attendance was like 24,000. And I think that's just embarrassing because this is a good football team, and I'm not a fan of these classics. I believe that Jackson State, if they would have played in FAMU or if they would have played in Jackson, attendance would have been in Jackson. It definitely would have been over 40,000. And FAMU, they would have probably sold out. So please end these classics. That's just my opinion. That's just coming from me. A lot of people don't like that, but oh well. I'm not with that classic stuff. I just believe that these cities are making real good money off these schools, and these schools are not getting what they deserve. I would not play in a classic if I was one of these HBCU schools unless you give me $2-3 million. Okay, ESPN plus NFL Network, they can come to your campus, but I understand what you're trying to do, trying to get these players to play in these stadiums, these NFL stadiums. But it looked like a practice game. That's how thin them crowds were. Don't get me started on that. All right, moving right along. All right, Southern. What? Now, I am very, very concerned about your quarterback play. Now, last week, you got punched in the mouth. You was in the game, but you was getting punched. I believe Southern went down to Alabama State and thought that they can win it all. And you came up a little flat. Your rushing yards gain was 126. Ain't that bad. You take that. Now, this is kind of scaring me right here. Average per attempt, only 2.6. Brother, unless Alabama State was that good, man. Now, you're passing 166 yards, 4.7 yards per pass. Y'all will never win a game if that quarterback plays like that again. Hey, so the battle lines have been drawn. On paper, stat-wise, Jackson State is supposed to whoop y'all. But we know that this is a rivalry game. And Southern, y'all like to fight if y'all win. Y'all like to fight if y'all lose. Only time I don't see Southern fighting is in the tailgate area. Everybody out there having a good time. So we gotta do a whole lot better. A whole lot better. But I think Southern has a real good opportunity to win this game. I really believe that. Not only they playing for Coach Pete Richardson, but nobody wants to start off their season 0-2. Nobody wants to lose to the SWAC nemesis that whooped them 2 times, in my opinion, easily. Southern didn't give up the fight last year, but they got whooped easily twice. in less than a month or something like that, month and a half, So they got a little revenge on their mind. I know Southern is not going to play like this. So hopefully, Dr. Blood, you done got yourself together. And hopefully, JSU and Southern will live up to the hype. I will be at the game. I still got those tickets. Nobody has called. Nobody has acquired about them. I have 2 tickets. You need to hit the link. But we'll see. Now, the Boombox Classic, if anybody is old school swag like I am, you got to remember this game used to be played in New Orleans in the Superdome, bringing in buku money. I need to see that same energy in Southern, bringing buku money to Southern. So I want to see a sellout. I want to see a good game. I want to see a good, hard-hitting, clean, fun game also. But if not, hey, like I said, somebody going to go 0-2 or 1-2. Will Jackson State come out of there 2-1 to say, hey, look, last week against FAMU was a fluke? Or will he say, or will Southern say, hey, look, we ain't going to lose to Jackson State and Alabama State. That would make the Southern 0-2 in the versus the East. They still have the SWAC West, which they haven't played a game yet. But when it comes down to trying to win every game after that, a tiebreaker can come down to you beat this school beat that school. You don't want to go through that. So you need to whoop everybody. Same thing with you, Jackson State. You know you down in the hole. FAMU is, as the old folks say, they smelling, they piss. So they think they grown. And they play grown man football. Whoop you pretty easily. So, and I forgot to say the Valley game. Valley is playing Delta State, the Delta State Devils. And Friday, when I give my real predictions, my game time predictions, I'll most likely pick Valley to win. But, oh, man, they cannot lose again. But as in the SWAC, at this classic, the Pete Richardson Classic or the Boombox Classic, a rivalry game, we must continue to support our schools on campus. Grambling had a post out today saying their allotted tickets for the LSU game has been sold out. I love to see that. I got it. So you mean to tell me you cannot sell out the whole every home game that you have? You mean to tell me when you go to the State Fair Classic playing against Prairie View or whatever the name is called, you mean to tell me y'all can put 56,000 up in there, but you can't sell out the whole? Come on, we can do better than that. This is nothing to play with. This is economics coming down. Give you a quick economics lesson. The last 2 years in the SWAC, Jackson State per season brought in at least $30 million in revenue to the city of Jackson. If you think I'm lying, check my numbers. That revenue to the city of Jackson, everybody eats. I'm talking from the man that's helping you park your car, to the brother that's selling T-shirts, to these restaurants, to these hotels, Airbnbs. A lot of black-owned businesses were making money, good money. We cannot let this stop. We cannot let this stop. We cannot go back to watching YouTube channels of the SWAC games because they're not being played on ESPN Plus. They're not being played on ESPN2. They're not playing on ESPN. We can't do that. But do you think ESPN want to come down and film a game where there's only 25,000 people in a 60, 70,000 seat arena? Ask yourself that. And I understand by traveling to Miami because I'm not with that. I just Orange Blossom Classic or whatever it's called. Keep the name. Have that in FAMU. FAMU, that's your game, one of your home games. Play different people in the SWAC. Have the parade in Tallahassee instead of Miami. And I have nothing against the people of Miami. But when the city of Miami, who's already revenue, is bringing in 100 times the amount of revenue that you playing 4 or 5 games in your home stadium gonna bring in, I don't think they need that game. Now, what about the Southern Heritage Classic? That's janky promoters. They making good money at the Southern Heritage Classic. So in my opinion, the Southern Heritage Classic, give these schools more. If you don't give these schools more money, these schools should not play there. I'm a firm believer in having these schools being paid. Because the money that we're spending, what's the old saying? Black people got $1.3 trillion of disposable income that we give away to whoever or to whatever every year. That 1.3 trillion, at least a couple of 100 million need to be amongst these 12 SWAC schools. There should not be not one reason that Southern and Jackson State is not a sellout. There should not be one reason that Prairie View, the home game, should not be a sellout. Y'all got to promote and do more. We have to start looking at ourselves first. The talent is there. Yes, we had a horrible week in the SWAC, in my opinion, stat-wise, quarterback play-wise. But you also had some performers out there. Them young men was busting their butt. But week 1, jitters, nerves, whatever it may be, it's out the way. This week 2. Everybody behind me on that wall has a game this week. I don't care if you're playing Division II schools or whatever. You know, if Miles is playing or whoever is playing. But what I do care about is attendance, revenue, and our schools being on the forefront. SWAC.org is doing a good job. Sports Illustrated is still covering the SWAC just a little bit, but not like they was in the last 2 seasons, and we know why. But we cannot let this stuff go. It's up to us to keep this going. All these content creators, it's up to us. Most of y'all have 75 to 100 people watching you every time you go live. That is great. Keep informing us. Keep the trash talking alive. I enjoy all of that. But what we can't afford to do is let it drop off to where we were 5-6 years ago, where only time we got to see the SWAC was the SWAC championship and the Celebration Bowl. We can't go back to that. Because if we don't take control of this right now and keep pushing it out there, we're going to be back there. Because trust me, ESPN don't care. They'll find something else. I already know after Jackson State, not this Saturday, but the Saturday after that, after they finish playing Texas State, their first home game, I already know Jackson State, them folks going to show up. They're going to show you what a SWAC crowd is supposed to look like. Win, lose, or draw, JSU, you do have the most loyal, dedicated fan base. You can't take that away from them. Nobody can. So what I'm going to leave you with, because it's almost 30 minutes, what I'm going to leave you with is, remember, yes, this is a game. Yes, we want to see our team win, but we got to have the economic resources to help our school win. Whatever your school may be. I don't care if it's Bethune-Cookman. I don't care if it's Texas Southern. I don't care if it's Mississippi Valley. Show up to these games. Buy somebody a ticket. Buy 2 tickets if you can afford it. I always buy 2 tickets to my game of the week, and I will always continue to give them out. So with that being said, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good night. And check back with me Friday. Peace.